Thank you everyone for joining us today for the talks. So, what is Legionella and why it is important to find its source? Legionella pneumophila is a waterborne pathogen. In natural water systems, it exists in very low concentrations, posing minimal risk to humans. But when it is transferred to man-made water systems such as cooling towers, showers, etc., it amplifies there because they provide ideal conditions for its growth. When these systems aerosolized and bacteria is inhaled by humans, so if the person that is inhaling it is susceptible, it will damage the lung tissues and cause infection. There are two disease outcomes. One is if the person is young and have strong immune system, it will either cause no disease or contagious fever with mild symptoms. But in other case, if the person is old and have weak immune system, it will cause Legionnaires disease, which is a severe form of pneumonia and life-threatening. So globally, the cases are increasing every year. As you can see in this report that was provided by Public Health Agency of Canada in 2021, the cases are increasing from 1991 to today alone in Canada in all ages and sexes. So it makes it important to develop new methods in order to prevent its spread. Let me take you back in 1976 when Legionnaires disease outbreak was originated for the first time in Bellevue Stratford Hotel, Philadelphia, where an American Legion was happening. As a result of this infection, 189 legions became ill and 29 died. So this mysterious outbreak was covered by a large number of newspapers calling it with different names because at that time they were unaware of the causative agent responsible for this outbreak. So CDC launched the largest investigation in its history where public health workers worked with microbiologists in order to resolve this outbreak. So one of the microbiologists at that time, Dr. Joseph McDade, he spent several hours in the lab studying infectious lung samples from those patients. So at the end, he was able to find out that the organism actually responsible for that cases is a bacterium that appears like large pink rods under the microscope. So they named it as Legionella pneumophila because of its origin. So today, thanks to Dr. Joseph McDade research, we are able to study this microorganism in the lab using new and advanced techniques. So we know the bacterium, so what's the problem today? Present day challenge is to find out the exact water system from which the bacterium is spreading and causing infections. So the motivation for my research comes from the outbreak that occurred in this hospital from 2018 to 2019. So in order to resolve the outbreak, the public health investigators decided to include 4 large water systems in their investigation, which includes cooling towers, hot water distribution systems, and decorative fountains and hot water tubs. Of note, all of these systems were either associated with this hospital or to which the patient was exposed previously. And it all leads to one question to find out the one source of infection. So here comes my research. My goal is to compare the clinical and environmental Legionella pneumophila isolates collected from the water systems and outbreak patients and then compare them using next generation sequencing and bioinformatic tools. Next generation sequencing is our style and high throughput technology that has the ability to for surveillance and outbreak investigations. So my goal is to combine this technique with bioinformatic tools in order to resolve this outbreak as well as provide a feasible pipeline for future studies. Using these techniques, we are able to study microorganisms at their nucleotide level, and it has advantages over the conventional detection methods. For example, it helps us to rapidly identify the pathogen. It has high resolution power with which we can differentiate between different isolates. And number 3, it also helps us to detect the virulence potential of pathogen, for example, antimicrobial resistant genes. This technology generates a large amount of data that could be used for different purposes. For example, whole genome SNP comparison, detection of drug resistance, and whole genome multi-local sequence typing. But here the only focus is whole genome SNP comparison, because this is what I am using for my research. So my study design is to collect the patient samples as well as water samples which were suspected as a source of infection. Next, we take these samples to the lab where we process them and isolate the bacterium by growing on CYE agar plates, which is basically a specific media for Legionella growth in lab. Next step is to take individual colonies and extract DNA from them. And then we subject them to next generation sequencing. This technique generates a large amount of raw data. So our next step is to pre-processing. Pre-processing means to just take our good data and remove the bad quality reads for downstream analysis. Next, I combine the small read sequences into a large DNA sequence using a de novo assembly approach. And when we have whole DNA sequence, we compare the genomes of all the isolates using SNP analysis. Okay, so what is whole genome SNP comparison? It is basically comparing the whole genomes. For example, here you can see there are two sequences which are similar except one position, which is called single nucleotide polymorphism. Next step is to map all of those SNPs on to a phylogenetic tree that tells us about the genetic relationship between the isolates. This is a hypothetical tree where hypothetical isolates are clustered together or not. So the numbers here are showing the SNP, which means that if there are a high number of SNPs, the isolates are distantly related. But if there is low, like 0 or 1, we can see they are more genetically related. So using this technique, I did my analysis. Here you can see SNP-based phylogenetic tree from that outbreak investigation. So the isolates are color-coded according to their source. Here there are just two clusters you can see. In first one, where all the clinical isolates are joined together, which means there is very low genetic diversity between them. Unfortunately, we were unable to find out the source for these cases, but the low diversity tells us there must be a same source for all of these cases, which could be identified in future with more sampling. But in this cluster, you can see one clinical isolate is with 4 other environmental isolates. So when we traced back, we see that these clinical isolates are basically from a hot water distribution system associated with the hospital where this outbreak was happened. Further analysis showed that this clinical isolate carries a plasmid. Plasmid is an extra chromosomal DNA that carries resistant genes. In this case, it has COP-A gene. COP-A gene is responsible for resistance against copper, and copper pipes are used in this hot water distribution system. My colleague Jineshi will talk about copper in detail later in her presentation. So all of these results shows us that this technology, like next generation sequencing combining with bioinformatic tools, helps us to study the diversity between these isolates. We were able to find out the source for one clinical isolate, and it also helped us to study the virulence potential of the clinical isolate. So what is the long-term advantage of this pipeline? It's that in future studies we will be able to confirm the source of infection. Number 2, it will help the managers to maintain their systems properly using improved methods to prevent spread of bacteria. And number 3, the data generated by this research will be helpful for future studies. So at the end, I would like to thank my supervisor, Dr. Sebastian Kuscher, my lab mates, and all of you for listening to my talk.